Hey everybody, it's Aswapy here. I'm here to not waste your time, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be using Siro 1.2.5. Any version of Siro will probably work, but I'm not sure when they introduce this, but you're going to go down here to image processing, go to background extraction. You're most likely going to use RBF if you're using a DSLR. If you're using something a little bit different, you'll want to use something called polynomial. It's a little bit different processing, but we're just going to go ahead. Higher smooth rate means the better the image is going to look. There's not going to be much banding or grain processing, I guess. Samples per line, you want this around 20 to 40, depending on the pixel size of your image. That's a lot of math. We're not going to talk about that. And then for grid tolerance, we're going to up this to probably about 3 because this is really bright down here and really dark down here. And Siro thinks this right here is a nebula, so that's why we're upping the grid tolerance. We're going to click generate. It's going to generate a grid here. You can still see that it missed some points. And then we're going to also right-click to remove points that it doesn't need, like those that where the nebula is. You can see it kind of put some points where the nebulous was, which is unfortunate, but we have to counter that with the grid tolerance, because if we didn't do the grid tolerance, it wouldn't have got these areas down here. And then once you feel like you've expelled all the areas where the nebula is, which should take no longer than about 30 seconds to do, you can go ahead and click generate, which is going to compute background right there. And click that. And there we go. Now we have a noise removal. And now you can see I didn't click apply, but if we do it again, we're going to do background extraction. These settings, anywhere from 60 to 80 will work. Anything above that, it's just going to look weird. I'm just going to up it just a little bit more. And for example, I'm just going to declick some of the areas where it goofed up. So like there, here as well. This is the horse head here. You can kind of see the horse head there if I zoom in. But now we're just going to click on these bottom areas here. Make sure we get those, and we're going to compute background. And it should end up pretty good. So now we're going to click apply. And there we go. Now that we have our background, we can now do photometric color calibration, which is what you want to do. You never want to do regular color calibration, especially if you know your pixel size and where you shot and what you're looking at. If you always know those three things, you can see we're going to crop again, like I said, because we've got dust spots on this image. Not great, but crop again. And I'm struggling how to get this to the right size, but again, that's how you do it. You're going to go to image processing, color calibration, and then do photometric color calibration. There's a lot of more technical details into that, but that's how you remove your background on an image using Siro. Now you can also use Graxpert, which is the exact same thing. Now you can see here on Graxpert, we kind of have a better idea of where all these dark spots are. So we're going to go ahead and crop this, which, shouldn't be a big deal. You can see there's kind of like a gradient here. We're going to kind of want to cut off that gradient as much as possible so we can just tell where to dilute the background a little bit. Apply crop, background, RBF, same thing. I'm going to want to up this. That's the thing with Siro, is it allows more points per row. Grid tolerance, we're going to do that about 2 to 3. Create grid, and you can see it kind of goofed up already. Good thing though is that Graxpert is a lot more color accurate. So if you're looking to get a good color accurate preview of your image, Graxpert is the way to go. Otherwise, use Siro because it's so much more powerful and does the work a lot faster. Graxpert is more AI based, so it's a little bit more powerful, but Siro is just better for those heavy processes and stuff. So once you do that, you're going to up the smoothing to about 0.7 or 0.6. I'd say 0.7 is good. And then once it does that, it's going to extract background. As you can see, it's super slow because it uses different algorithms, even though it's kind of like the same thing. It's just going to take a lot longer. And it should take any moment here. Should be any moment. And there we go. So now we're going to reset sample points. And you can see that Graxpert makes it a lot grainier versus if we go to Siro. Siro is just a lot better. I don't know if it's just the way the programs preview, but you can see that they basically do the exact same thing. Graxpert is just going to look a little bit different than Siro because Siro has a better auto stretch than Graxpert does. Because this is at 20%. Like if I go 15, it won't be as blown out. But you can kind of see that it worked. We got the background extraction. And if you're wondering A big question a lot of people ask is, what is all this green and blue noise? That's something called color noise and color thermal noise, and it happens a lot when you'll notice it more during the summertime, especially if you have an uncooled camera like I do, like a DSLR. You notice that it'll be really intense. But the good thing is, if it's like pale colors like this, you can go into Serial and do something called remove green noise, and it'll automatically do it for you. So yeah, so now we can just color balance this out, and that purple stuff will disappear. So that's how you process the backgrounds of your images. So thanks for watching.